The first thing that comes to mind when you say marijuana is Oregon and Washington.
Stuff that people smoke and
teenagers smoking pot.
Illegal?
As weed.
Drugs. Bob Marley. California.
Weed.
Okay.
Washington.
Bob Marley.
Recreation.
you think of Colorado and Washington, I think hippies, and okay, that's good.
Yeah, I feel like people with cancer usually are the ones taking medicinal marijuana, right?
Mhm.
Pretty sure that's the case. I mean, whatever you can do to help cancer.
No.
That's a hard question because I know some people that it really benefits, but in general, I'm scared of it getting abused, so no.
Okay. And why, if you want to go into a little more detail as to why your response is that way?
I just don't think it's really necessary. I think there are other drugs out there that can do the same thing.
This is yes or no?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Not like fully.
All right. So, why do you think it should be allowed to be
I think
used
there's
that
a lot
way?
of worse drugs that are prescribed and more addictive and harmful than marijuana. Have like worse side effects. So I don't see marijuana as like a terrible drug. It is illegal, but I feel like there's harder prescribed drugs out there that you can have. So.
I think that if it were to be used for medicinal purposes, they'd have to have some really strict guidelines on it so it wasn't abused. Because I've seen so many people that I went to school with, in high school obviously, not here, that abused marijuana and they totally just got high all the time and it was just bad news.
Basically, smoked themselves stupid.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I admit it.
Yeah, I think like there's plenty of drugs you can use. I don't see why you have to use marijuana.
Yes,
Why?
because it does less physical damage than narcotics do, and there's also no proven addictive characteristics to pure form of marijuana. So you'd be doing less damage to your body as if you were to take Vicodin or morphine.
I would say no, just because I've seen a lot of abuse of the actual marijuana, so I could see how that could be like abuse if it were legalized.
I personally think that medical marijuana should be legal because my grandma actually suffered from many heart problems and open heart surgeries throughout her life. Said that she used to get really, really sick on medications, like when she would have her morphine, and the only thing that really worked for her to ease her pain and so she could function day to day without throwing up is medical marijuana.
Personally, I think there's a lot of pros and cons to medical marijuana. I'll start with the pros. Yes, it does have benefits in medicine. It simply can help people who are in pain. That's what it's used for. Con is the image that it portrays, specifically talking about the younger generation. What kind of message are we sending kids who are watching these adults who are smoking marijuana? I mean, to them, they don't see the difference between smoking legal marijuana versus illegal. I mean, there's just no way for them to tell.
Alcohol is legal, it's more destructive. Tobacco is legal, it's more destructive. The only reason marijuana causes problems is because it's illegal, and a lot of government agencies benefit from it being illegal, as do certain gangs and cartels.
I'd say most of the benefits as well as the risks kind of attached to marijuana is purely anecdotal. People talking about how it's the best thing ever, it's saved their life, whatever, and that it's the worst thing, it's going to destroy society. It's all just people with their own experiences. There's kind of a dearth of just like clinical, like double-blind studies. There's just not much being done.